Good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups. First of all, thank all of you for braving whatever that is outside. If it were a few degrees colder, we'd be snow blowing right now. And thanks to our Facebook viewers, the not so brave, but still very welcome. Well, we're going to jump right in. We've got a lot to do today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But thank you for being here. I've been watching my phone. I'm just going to give updates on William Shatner. He hasn't launched yet, but it's an any minute thing right now. So for anybody that cares, it's happening. All right, so check in. If you haven't yet, get the app and open it up and check in so we can keep tabs on who's here. Want to thank our sponsors, as always. They keep the lights on here for us, keep the coffee flowing, so on and so forth. And they just care about the mission that we've got here, so we love them. All right, so any first-timers here today? Wow, nice. Hello, thank you. Wow. And on this weather day, so perfect. If you can make it today, we'll see you every Wednesday. So what is 1 Million Cups? Well, we're a free weekly program, and what we do is we put an entrepreneur or two on stage and hear about their journey, hear about their story, hear about their challenges, and it gives us an opportunity, one, to know what's going on in the community, two, to offer some feedback, maybe share some contacts, and help them be successful, because then we're all more successful. That's a lot more than what it says on the slide, sorry. And the whole idea is, can we change the face of our startup community over 1 million cups of coffee? And what a nice day for a hot cup of coffee. Notice the iced coffee wasn't on the menu today, but I don't know, we didn't think we'd get many takers on that. Okay, so next. Oh, there we go. So at the end, we're going to have a Q&A period, so start thinking about your questions early. This is an area that we're really trying to bolster a little bit. This is the meat and potatoes of 1 Million Cups. This is where we interact with the folks here on stage and get all of those burning questions answered. And I know it's a little tough sometimes to just raise your hand and get the mic, but I really encourage you to do it, because that's a big reason why we're here. So please think about your questions, and I'm sure these ladies would love to answer them for you. Yeah, they are. And if for whatever reason you can't ask the question, or if you're watching the live stream today, you can put the questions in the chat. We got Sarah here watching that today, and she'll ask the question for you. Or hashtag 1MCND will also be a place you can leave that question. So with that, community announcements. I think we have a bill. Yes.
All right, so hi, I'm Bill Dean, and I have a series coming up, so it's going to be called Bill Dean Hacks, but it's going to be a lot of different classes about all sorts of things. The first one's the Ultimate Budget. This is a free tool you can use to pay down debt, start saving money, and actually guarantee profit in your business, and it's absolutely free. I'm bringing a trainer from Dallas up here to teach us how to make money and pay off debt, so it's going to be a sweet class, November 2nd.
Is that virtual and in person, or just virtual? Oh, great. Great. Love it. Hi, everybody. My name is Logan Ani. I am Program Director at the North Dakota Women's Business Center, and I am super excited, as you've probably heard me say before, about the Women's Business Summit coming October 28th. We have completely sold out of all of our VIP tickets, so sorry if you were late to that party, but we do have general admission tickets on sale for $69 until the 18th. After that, it jumps to $89. So if you want to save $20, get on that bandwagon ahead of time. And this is for female business owners, professionals, solopreneurs. There's something for everybody. And really what we tried to do here is focus on topics that apply to all of them, and then drive our technical business training to our library tool, which is something that we have talked about here before. If you're curious, visit ndwbc.com. You can also find tickets on Eventbrite. Again, this is October 28th. Following this event, we have the Wine, Women, and Chocolate Awards reception, where we'll honor the Female Entrepreneur of the Year, the Woman of Impact of the Year, and our Women's Leadership Program graduates. We're also featuring the African Nomad Catering Company as our caterer for the day, or for the evening, and really excited to give back to the strong female-owned businesses who keep our communities healthy. So anyway, check it out, join us. There might be a virtual ticket option coming too. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Lakin. Anybody else with a community announcement this morning? Going once? All right, good. We're going to hop right in. We've got Mary, Logan, and Taylor. I didn't even. All right. Gawryluk?
Gawryluk.
Okay. Sounds Klingon. They're here today with Cycle Bar. And Mary, I think we'll let you say a couple words, and then I think you've got a video. So let's give them a round of applause.
All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. As he stated, my name is Mary Logan, and this is Taylor. We are the owners of Cycle Bar Bismarck, which we just opened on September 30th. And what we're going to do today is we're going to show you guys a few videos that basically speak and show what Cycle Bar is all about. It is unlike anything else in the community, so we are so excited. And can I just get a quick hand raise of anybody here who's actually been to a class since we've been able to open? I got two. One, two? Okay, awesome. So he's actually just changing into some cycle shorts because we're going to do a short demonstration of what a class starts out like. And so you guys can hear what it's like. These are obviously our bikes. And then we're just going to kind of share a little bit about how Cycle Bar came to be and like who Taylor and I are and why we decided to go on this road trip. It's mostly a trip. It's like a crazy, crazy trip. But yeah, so that's what you guys can expect. And I don't know what this is for. Okay. Oh, so when I'm ready, do I hit the arrow? Cool. All right. Okay. I don't know. Here we go. Do I hit it again to play?
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you.
If it was a struggle to get here, you're gonna start to see that fade. Ever have one of those days where you're like, if one more thing doesn't go my way, I'm gonna have to do something? Well, here's your chance. This is all about you. This is where you forget about what's gone on outside these four walls. For some of us, we only have this 45 minutes, so let's go. I need you to bring more of yourself. 3, 2, 1. It is so much better to go for it than to sit on the sidelines watching life pass us by. You don't have to be the best in this room, but you've got to bring your best self. Yes, that's the energy that you need to bring. 3, 2, 1. Let it go. So learning to quiet that mind. I don't know if it was a struggle for you to get here today, but I want you to know that you belong here. So on those days when you don't feel like waking up and getting out of bed, you remember this moment you've had right here. He's got his cycle shoes on. Love it.
So I'm going to just go over a little bit about what happens when you come to Cycle Bar. So obviously we have bikes there that you don't have to worry about, and we have complimentary shoes as well. If you'll just turn the mic down a little on the left. Perfect. Okay.
There we go.
See, we have complimentary cycle shoes. They are not the studio. Hi, Ivan. My name is Mary. Welcome to Cycle Bar. Happy to have you. Is this your first class? Yes. Oh, fantastic. So, have you done indoor cycling before?
Am I there? Okay. No, I have cycled at home in the basement, and a lot of outdoor cycling.
Oh,
Awesome. Okay, so this is your first time coming to a cycle bar, period.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that you're set up safely. We want to get you fitted on your bike. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you stand right next to your bike. You're going to bring your inside leg up to 90 degrees for me so I can get the saddle lifted to the appropriate part. So I'm going to just adjust the height of the saddle so it gives you a nice length in your leg and allows you to get the most out of your exercise today. How tall are you by chance?
6'2".
Okay, I'm gonna bring you. Yeah? Okay.
Roughly.
I'm gonna start you off here. We might do an adjustment. All right, go ahead and put that leg down. The next adjustment is going to be to bring your elbow to the tip of the horn and extend your fingertips to the small of the neck. And I'm just gonna make it so you barely make contact, because that's gonna give you the proper spot. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna hold the mic really quick. Go ahead and hop on the saddle, then I'm gonna get you clipped in. So clipping in is kind of like a ski boot. So if you have never been skiing, this will definitely be an opportunity to see if it's going to fit for you. He knows what he's doing, so I'm kind of just letting him get in there. Perfect. So now you're safe and secure. I want to make sure that your saddle height is appropriate. So give me some pedal strokes really quick. Okay, perfect. So you have a slight bend in your knee when you reach down to the bottom of the pedal stroke, which is exactly what you want. The last adjustment I'm going to do is your handlebar height. So I have you at a 12 for your saddle. So I'm just going to bring your handlebars up to a 6, so you're not having to reach down so much to reach the handles. Okay? Last adjustment is for you and a personal preference. This top knob right here is going to move the handlebars forward and backwards. You just find what works best for you, okay? How do you feel?
Looks good. Ready.
I'm going to say perfect. All right, we're going to get class started. So again, my name is Mary, and if this is your first time joining us at Cycle Bar, we are absolutely thrilled to have you. I'm going to go over a little bit of housekeeping items before we get started. To turn your bike on, reach up and push that black squishy button on the monitor. The bike will light up. Now go ahead and start moving your legs. We'll start to get some numbers moving. The first number is power. Power is what you're putting into the exercise. Underneath power is RPM. That's how fast your legs are moving. We are rhythmic-based rides. That means we ride to the beat of the music. So you'll always hear me announce what to be riding at. But if all else fails, or I make a mistake, ride to the beat of music, and just find it. Underneath RPM is a little black gear. Underneath that are some numbers. That's your resistance. That tells you how hard your pedals are to move or how easy your pedals are to move. So to get started, we're going to take all the resistance off. Reach down. Red knob is your resistance. Turn to the left. Your legs should move nice and easy. There, like good. All right. So to get started, turn the resistance knob to the right 3 full turns. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be our ground 0.
your random act of sweat.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh, if mine's on. Test.
Okay, so there was that demonstration that kind of showed you how the bike works, sitting and standing, showed you how we ask for resistance to make your legs harder to move, or we ask you to speed it up to push some endurance. The classes we're teaching right now are either 45 minutes or 30 minutes, so either 12 songs or 8 songs. You gotta bring it, but if maybe you're having a day where you're not ready to bring that 110%, you take it at your own pace. I always tell my classes, to Taylor, that we're just basically like airline stewardess there. We guide you, we offer you some resistance, we offer you some speed. You take it or you don't. It's up to you. Whatever you want your flight to be like, that's what you bring, that's what you take. All right, so who am I? Who is Taylor? You're like, who are these girls up there right now? Okay, so my name is Mary Logan. I'm originally from Bozeman, Montana. Born and raised, graduated from there. I married a man in the oil field, and that took us out of Montana that fast. So we've been relocating ever since we've been married for the last 10 years. I think we've done 4 moves, but we've been in Bismarck for just about 4 years. And what brought us to Bismarck is we had a little girl at the time of the move. She was almost 2, and she never got to see her grandparents. And that was something that was really important to my husband and I, so we decided to relocate back up north. Coming to North Dakota allowed my husband to stay in the oil industry because he is technically the only one working, because when you own a business, y'all know it takes a minute to make some money. So he is the only one bringing it home for us right now. I started into the business industry 3 years ago when I opened a different indoor boutique on the north side of town. And that is actually how I had the opportunity to meet Taylor. She joined me as an instructor at my other business. And that's kind of how her and my journey began. Owning the business that I still have right now has been, Pure Bar. I try not to say it to respect the Cycle Bar, but yeah, I own Pure Bar. If you haven't been there, it's indoor combination of yoga, Pilates, and ballet. But that's how I met Taylor, and that's how I got started in the entrepreneur business side of things. And it's been good. I could have done without this whole thing that happened to us in the last year and a half. That's definitely been a battle, and it's still not over. I don't know if some businesses are able to say they're finally through it, but I definitely am not. And I don't think Cycle Bar will go unscathed by it as well, unfortunately. So that's a little bit about me. Before opening fitness studios, I was a banker. I had really long, straight, blonde hair, and I always wore high heels. Now I can't even put on a high heel for more than 10 minutes before my feet are like, what is happening right now? Because all I do is wear sneakers and leggings. So it's been a good fit for me. I've enjoyed the transition out of the business world. No offense to anybody that is potentially in the banking industry. That's you. This is me. But now I'll let Taylor go a little bit about herself.
I don't know if my mic is it on? Okay, cool. So my name is Taylor, originally Taylor Heinert, just got married, Taylor Gawryluk. If you can spell it on the first try, I will give you $100. I don't think Mary knows how to even spell it or say it.
No, she's still Taylor Heinert in every form of communication to me.
So I'm originally from Bismarck, Mandan, went to school at St. Mary's, and I found a love for cycling when I moved to Alaska. So I lived in Anchorage, Alaska for 3 years. It was amazing. If you've ever been to Alaska, it is gorgeous. If you're planning a trip and need some guidance, hit me up. I'm your girl. I'll tell you all the good things. And I found an amazing cycling studio up there. I was also doing Pure Bar, teaching Pure Bar up there. So cycling and Pure Bar were just the perfect combination. I knew nobody going up there, and my husband is an accountant. So during busy season, he's working 60 to 70 hours. So I was on my own a lot up there. And so just finding, community at at the cycle place up there and at Pure Bar was truly life-changing up there because I'm a huge family person. So being 3,000 miles away from my family really sucked. So whenever I would come home, I would take class at Pure Barre, and I'd be like, Mary, like, you gotta open up a cycle studio. Like, it would pair perfect with Pure Barre, and we have nothing like it in the Bismarck Mandan community. And so last October, I came home with my husband because everything was shut down because of COVID in Alaska, and we get no sun in the winter. We get a little sun, but it's barely any. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill you if we have to work at home together and be in the dark all winter. So we came home, worked remotely, and I started teaching at Pure Barre again for Mary while I was back. And she approached me one day. She's like, hey, I need to talk to you. Like, you need to stay after class. And I was like, oh gosh, like, what did I do? And here she approached me and she's like, hey, like, I need a business partner. I want to open up Cycle Bar. You know, let me know if you know of anybody. Hinting, like, hint, hint, I want you to open up Cycle Bar with me. But I went home and I talked to my husband and my parents, and I'm like, hey, like, do you guys know anybody that would want to go in with Mary for Cycle Bar and open up this studio? And this is what, like, last November probably, so almost a year. And they're like, well, I think she wants you to do that with her. And I was like, oh, okay. So, but yeah, so here we are, almost a year later. It's been the craziest year of our lives.
It's been insane. And what's funny is, like Taylor said, I didn't directly ask her if she wanted to be my business partner, but before she moved to Anchorage, her mom was like, yo, Mary, like, can you help me so Taylor doesn't move? And I was like, sure, I'll offer my manager position. And I was like, Taylor, you want to manage? And she's like, no, I'm in love. I'm going to go to Alaska. And I was like, sorry, Steph, I tried, you know. And so then when she was home for like a hot second, I was like, hey, you want to go into business together? Locked and loaded, she's staying. I think her mom, I'm her favorite person now.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a little bit about the Mary and Taylor show and how, like, we as individuals came together as people, and it's been a lot of a learning process. I mean, I opened Pure Barre 3 years ago, and Pure Barre is a franchise, as is Cycle Bar, so I had a blueprint, so to speak, with what was expected of us. But opening a business this last year has been unlike anything that I had experienced before, and I'm so grateful that I had a partner to go through it with, because it would have been so much more on my plate than I could have physically and mentally handled. It would have shut me down as a person. So I was really grateful that Taylor decided to do it with us, because if anybody knows, like, just having a good friend, a person to talk to, that just helps so much. So that's kind of like how Cycle Bar started in our minds. So we were talking in November. Taylor got married in June. And she's like, maybe we'll be open by May. And I was like, yeah, cool. And we opened in September. So that's how that worked. So yeah, the whole process was pretty exciting. Bismarck had to be approved for Cycle Bar, which they had to look at the economics of the community, the demographic of the community, and kind of how this community chooses to spend their money. So there's a lot of different things that went into, first off, the approval process of us being able to open this here in Bismarck. Mm-hmm. And once we got the approval, then began the process of where are we going to put this. So anybody that's been in Bismarck for a long time, y'all know there's like the south side versus the north side type situation, where if you're from any other town of substantial size, driving from South Bismarck to North Bismarck in like LA standards is like easy peasy. But here it definitely is something that the locals and the people of this community, that is a long commute. So when we were deciding where we were going to put it, there were certain rules that we had to follow from our franchise. And one of it had to be like, where was Bismarck going? Like, how is this town going to grow? So obviously, growing south is going to be a very challenging thing for this town because of Mary and the airport. Obviously, the river stops that. So, and then to the other side is mostly farmland at this point in time that is still, for the most part, individually owned and not owned for like growth and development. So that meant we needed to go up north. If you're familiar with where Pure Bar is, I'm next to the North Starbucks in Leela and Lavender. And so we were shopping around, and if I looked out my building of Pure Bar, there was this beautiful vacant building called Shops on 43rd that's in the Cashwise parking lot, and I was like, that is where I wanted to go. And I know I told it to Taylor, and we both thought that was going to be the perfect spot. Yeah. So we got approval to put the location up there, and that is when the ball really, really started rolling on getting Cycle Bar going.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
It has. So we have another video that we're going to play really quick, and then we're going to go into the process of actually getting the studio from dirt floors to an actual premier indoor cycling studio.
Am I pushing the right button?
There we go.
And one more for you. If you're looking for a new way to work out in the Bismarck area, consider trying out Cycle Bar. Located on 43rd Avenue Northeast, Cycle Bar offers a fresh take on indoor cycling. Riders can register online to reserve their session with a trainer and over 20 others.
So Cycle Bar is unique in the fact that it's low impact, high intensity, dark lights, loud music. The best way to describe Cycle Bar is it is not only a cycling class, but it's a little bit of therapy, HIIT workout, and yoga all put in one.
While the ride is the main attraction, Cycle Bar also offers its own line of branded athletic wear.
Perfect. So that showed you the little storefront of the studio. I don't know. Has anybody here heard of like Crumble Cookie? It's kind of like up and coming. All right, so we're right next door to Crumble Cookie. So if you're like, where's Shops on 43rd? Crumble Cookie, 2 doors down.
Yep.
You got yourself some Cycle Bar right there. So the process of Cycle Bar, we were finally approved by our franchise owners, or by the franchisees, I guess, like middle of December, because Taylor and I actually had to go through a whole vetting process. They had to like us. They had to say, oh yeah, we want you guys to represent our brand. So once they finally approved us in December is when we got started, and that is when everything came into effect. We hired Straightway Construction to do our contracting, which they were an absolute pleasure to work with. Jay Watson was our contractor, and he did the best job he could have done under a lot of circumstances. I don't know. Is anybody here also part of like a franchise that like the business that they own or operate is part of a franchise? No. So franchises, we didn't have to invent the product. So obviously Taylor and I didn't have to stay up till 2 a.m. like talking about RPM, talking about resistance. We didn't have to create this bike. It was all done for us. So that was really nice that the product was available for us to bring to the community. But on the flip side, with franchises come a lot of rules that are like not gray rules. They are like black and white, don't break them. You got trouble on your hands. So that came a lot of learning, and that was some of the hills and the battles that came with our contractor. If you had a chance to come into our studio is beautiful, it looks fantastic, and a lot of that is due to the expectations upheld to us by the franchise. But sometimes finding some of the stuff that they wanted us to do here in Bismarck was very challenging. So like our signs, for example, were like 6 weeks delayed because they were being shipped from a different state, and they came in 3 different shipments. One of the shipments was damaged, so then they had to resend it. So just a lot of that stuff caused some problems where if we could have just ran down to the Bismarck Sign Company and showed them the blueprints, they could have like drawn it up, manufactured it, and installed it a little easier. So, for someone like me who is not super innovative, like I could never invent something that guts a pumpkin and you throw it in a drill, like that's just not how my brain works. So for me, a franchise was a really great thing because they supplied the product. It was my job to market it and bring it to the community. So that's a little bit about the franchise world. And then the construction, I'll let Taylor handle that. She kind of, I would say I was the email warrior, and Taylor was definitely like the face of the friendly side of the studio. So if anybody got an email from Mary Logan, it was definitely like oh crap, Bismarck's back on us. Where Taylor would always be smiling, and our general contractor usually preferred to work with her because she's definitely like the more friendly one. I'm the aggressive one. So yeah, I'll let Taylor kind of talk a little bit about the construction.
Well, I tried to block most of this out of my memory because it was such a struggle. But so we, hired our general contractor, started ordering all of the things from the franchise. Anything that could have gone wrong with our build out went wrong, from our paint to our architect. We got to choose from 2 architects, picked the one that was a little less money, and he completely, he cost us probably
10 grand.
10, 20 grand. So won't do that again. Definitely spend good money on your architect. So once we started, figuring out all the problems, it was like a bad puzzle that we had to, go through. Gosh, what am I missing? I'm drawing a blank.
There was
on
just so much. So
yeah.
Anytime our contractor called us, I was like, oh God, what up, Jay? And he's like, so your ceiling is 2 feet too short. I'm like, sweet, that sounds like a pretty big problem. And then he's like, and then we need to cut off 600 feet of your suite as well. And I'm like, super, sounds like another big problem. So he was absolutely fantastic. And some of that stuff you just have to roll with. I was angry for probably like a good 24 hours. Then there's literally nothing you can do. Like, the building was built. I can't lift the ceiling 2 feet to make stuff fit the way it originally was supposed to fit. And then you just kind of have to roll with the punches. And that's what I feel like anybody in the business industry, or even management at the same time, COVID had taught us to pivot and pivot fast. And so that is one thing that I felt like, thank you for teaching me how to pivot and change how I was going to do something, because I had to do it a lot with CycleBar. And very little of it was COVID related, but it still taught you that you got a problem coming at you head on, you better rotate, spin, and get out of the way and fix it. So that's what a ton of the construction was. And like I said, if anybody has the opportunity to work with Straightway Construction, they were fantastic. They ate that $10K that the architect cost us because he liked Taylor so much.
And you. Whatever.
Because he's always like, I like you guys. I'm like, you actually want to hate us. He's like, I really want to hate you, but you guys are like too nice to hate. So, hey. So yeah, and we were supposed to be able to open beginning of August. That got pushed. We were supposed to be open September 3rd. That got pushed. And I thought we were going to have to push our opening of September 30th, because if y'all would have seen that studio on like September 20th, you'd been like, no way this place is going to be up and functional for people to be in here. Taylor and I had a lot of late days. My husband worked shift work out of town, so I had to call in my mother-in-law, and I was like, yo, you need to come help. So she came out here and stayed with me for 4 days and raised my child so I could eat, breathe, and get this studio done and ready. So we got her done. We opened on September 30th for our first class at 5 a.m. And y'all, there were like 28 people that wanted to try CycleBar at 5 a.m. Right?
It was awesome. Yeah.
First off, don't talk to me before 7:30, let alone think about working out, geek.
Yeah.
But there's some of you guys that love it. You probably are an AM workout. No? That
Really?
shocks me. I would not have been surprised. So, yeah. In the whole process, we've hired some really fantastic instructors. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check out the social media, you can kind of see who some of our instructors are. We've hired some people who had never taught fitness before whatsoever. I know here you teach fitness, and if you haven't had an opportunity to teach fitness, it's a very nerve-wracking experience. So we are really grateful that we had 9 people, again, like Taylor and I, and they were like, I'm going to take a shot on you 2 girls. And they're like, yeah, you maybe know what you're talking about. So they took a shot on us. They decided to come teach for us. The teaching process and the certification process is extensive.
Yeah.
So if you guys are wondering if the teachers on the podium know what they're talking about, they went through a 7-week training program where we started with 15 and we ended with 7. Yeah. So the work that goes into attaining the certification for CycleBar Corporate is very intense. Some of the individuals, it did not work for them, so they chose to voluntarily withdraw from the process, and sometimes their drive and their want was there, but their ability to deliver the product up to CycleBar standards was not quite going to meet their recommendations or requirements. So unfortunately, that's how some of the positions played out a little bit. And that's where another beautiful thing is about having somebody who can guide us. Like I said, Taylor and I didn't invent the product, we didn't invent the bike, so we had a lot of guidance on what the instructor needed to bring. Obviously, in the demonstration, energy is huge, personality is also huge, and then just being able to like feel the beat of the music and stuff like that. So the 7-week training process was insane. We opened on the 30th, and I would say they all got certified on like the night of the 28th.
Yeah. Yeah, it was insane.
It was
insane.
Taylor, myself, and our general manager, KJ, we all happened to get certified by like the 24th.
Yeah.
And we were like, are we going to have to teach all these classes, like between the three of us?
All 30
and,
classes, yeah.
But they grinded, they got it certified and stuff like that. So it's been a wild ride. And I think there's probably plenty of times, if not every month, if not multiple times a month, that I was like, how much of a fee would I be charged to back out? Yeah. Like, what would they do to me if I were to write corporate and be like, I don't know, they're not doing this.
Yeah, we thought that a couple times.
Yeah. But now that we're open and we're operating, the vision that Taylor and I had, having it come to life has been absolutely fantastic. And I don't know if anybody has had the opportunity to be in any type of position or job where someone walks in and then they use your product, they talk to you or anything, but at the conclusion of your guys' interaction, they leave and they say, I was having the worst day, and I came in here with a bad attitude, and I didn't want to be here, but now I'm leaving knowing I did a great thing and I feel better. Like, those are the best things that anybody can hear in the fitness industry. You know, I taught a class where I had 2 women who both were like, I'm having the worst day ever. One lady's like, I spilled coffee on my white rug. This other lady's like, I lost my phone at 5 a.m. And I'm like, you guys are having a really bad day. So it was my job to make it fun, and they left smiling. Homegirl found her phone. Other girl got the coffee out of her rug. So, you know, it's all good. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's also been fantastic to just see what the community has brought us. So like Taylor said, when she would always come back, she'd be like, Mary, you need to open a cycle bar. And I was like, meh, I already got 1 business, I'm good. Never thought I'd be a 2-business person. But I always knew a cycle studio was going to come to this community. This town loves biking. Like, if you guys know these 2 up front, you know, like, biking is a huge thing in this town. And I just knew something indoor cycling would come eventually. And I really felt like, why not be in control of my own destiny? So in the fitness industry, we like to collaborate versus create competition between the 2. But if I'd say that is always happening, that would be a lie. Like, every fitness studio is against every fitness studio. We're all after that one person that wants to pay a membership. And so every studio around town is against every studio. We do collaborate and try to work together, but it is all a competition at the end of the day, so to speak. So I really had the opportunity with Taylor to kind of control the destiny and create a model where my one business could work with my second business. So then I was not in competition with somebody that I didn't know. I'm basically in competition with myself. Yeah. And I feel like if you're gonna be in competition with yourself, you're doing okay. So that's kind of how Taylor really convinced me to take the plunge as well. Yes. And then, yeah, it's been a trip. Taylor and I both did not want to teach. We were like, we're just gonna be owners. And then when everybody was like dropping like flies during the training process, we're like, okay, here we go. And so, but now we have some people going through the training, and it'll be a great time where we can be working on our business than working in our business. I know that made no sense to me when I opened my first business. People were like, don't be in the business, work on it. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, that is super confusing to me, you guys. And then after like 2 years, I was like, oh, I get it. Like, I was doing the product too much that I couldn't work on the everything outside of the product. So I know her and I are really looking forward to being able to take that advice and put it into effect. I'm pretty sure you guys told me that advice. So I had the opportunity to meet them as like a mentorship program. I had just came to town and I didn't know what I was doing at all. And so I was able to partner with these guys, and that was just something that they were always like, really be mindful of like what you're going to do within your business. And so you guys were probably the ones that were like, don't be in it, work on it. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, so sorry. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's been a lot of sweat. It's funny, the other day my husband was like, I told him I wanted to open a cycle bar, and he was down for it. And then he came home the other day, and he's like, I think I'm starting to regret my decision on telling you to go for it because of the time that goes into it. Mm-hmm. And so I told him, I said, just let me get through Q1, and then you'll get your wife back. Because that's what he said. He's like, I feel like I have like a shell of my wife. And I'm like, you do. Because Cycle Bar has your wife right now, bud. So, it's just a balance. And I know anybody here that owns a business or manages a business that requires like a lot of commitment. I don't know what a 40-hour work week looks like anymore. That's like a thing of the past. So I think that's just a little bit of the learning curve too. And it's funny that Taylor said she blocked out the build-out process.
Yeah.
I think, like, give us 2 years and we'll be blocking out this grand opening process. We'll be like, we rent the studio for like 2 hours a day. When actually we're like, they're 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's funny how you forget that. If anybody has a baby, like, y'all forget like how terribly rough those first like 2 months are. And then you're like, let's have another one. And then you have another one. You're like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
So Cycle Bar's my second baby. I don't know if I got a third one in me. She might. I don't.
Ugh, I don't know. We'll see.
So yeah.
Fun fact, so Cycle Bar and Pure Bar are actually owned by the same company called Exponential, and they own a bunch of different boutique fitnesses. So never know, we might be bringing another Expo brand to Bismarck someday.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. So, I mean, if anybody wants to open a boxing studio, a rowing studio, let me know.
Yeah. All right. We're going to play our last video.
KJ, General Manager here at Cycle Bar Bismarck. We are just about to wrap up our grand opening period, and I just kind of want to go over what you do when you book your first ride here at Cycle Bar. So go ahead and follow me. We're going to come over here. So again, you're going to be greeted by your first name here at Cycle Bar Bismarck, always. Okay, we're a very inclusive and family-oriented community here. You're going to come over here. This is our check-in system. We have 3 iPads set up right here. You simply find your name. It's in alphabetical order by your first name. And right after you check in, you can have the choice whether you want to opt into the leadership board or opt out of it. You simply click the green symbol there. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and pick out your shoes. They're in European sizes, so we have a conversion chart here for you. Some riders have been saying they've been running a bit small, so go ahead and size up if you need to, okay? As we make our way over here, take a look at our retail wall here. Some cute stuff, so go ahead and buy whenever you get a chance, okay? As we move into our community room, you're going to find your name on your locker, okay? You have the choice whether you want to keep it unlocked or set a 4-digit code. The instructions are going to be on the inside for you. Go ahead and plop down on the bench, put your shoes on. We're gonna go ahead and go right into the studio to help you get set up on your bike, all right? So here you go, and here we go.
All right, so that is KJ. He's our general manager. He also co-manages Pure Bar with me too. He's fantastic. That was one thing that Taylor and I were really grateful to have found him when we did. So it would be a much different trip if he was not part of the ride with us. And kind of what he showed you, our studio. So if anybody were to come to the studio, you would be greeted. As we learn your name, we really want you to feel part of the family. That's something that is a little bit unique with the boutique fitness world, is that it's community versus just like another individual who is paying a gym fee. And then, as you saw, we have complimentary shoes. If you have your own shoes, go ahead and bring them, because I'm sure you probably have your own cycle shoes. So, yeah, our spikes are compatible with the 2 main type of clip-ins. And then you kind of get going. And in the first video, well, I guess in the KX News video, we have 36 bikes.
Yep.
So at this point in time, we can fit up to 36 people in the studio. Taylor taught 36 people last night, didn't you? Did you have a full house? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been fantastic to see the energy of the community and stuff like that. And it's basically a party on a bike. So,
Yep.
yeah. And I think now is the Q&A.
Yes. All right, give it up for these two. All right. Or we could sit on the bikes, but no, I don't.
They get a little uncomfortable.
Grab a seat.
Here, I can.
I'm going to sit by the friendly one, I think.
She is the friendly one.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. It was cool that last video to see some of the interior shots.
Yes.
That is quite a
It's
place.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Wow. I enjoyed listening to all of this problem and that problem, and this is too big and this is changing, and it's just everybody's story. I mean, it's just the names change, but that's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? Okay, I see some hands up back here, so let's get to it. All right.
Question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
More of a comment. One thing I feel like I've been to class. It is amazing. It is so empowering. And the best thing about it is it's super motivating because everybody the whole time looks like they're killing it, but they might be on a lower resistance. But it like motivates you to go really.
I was on a high resistance, just
Yeah.
to say you know.
But I love it. But the one thing that they didn't talk about that I love is when you opt in for the leaderboard, you get this cool email afterwards where it'll tell you like where you ranked in class and what your average, and then you can follow it on your like account, and you can see like if your power is more than the last time, and you kind of like can compete with yourself also. So I think that's very cool.
Yep.
I loved class. I almost died my first time, which is why I signed up, because if it challenges me, I keep going. So I think it's awesome. And I think people really need to support boutique gyms, group fitness. It is an incredibly different experience than just going to a gym, because there's that accountability, there's that motivation, and there's that family. Like, it turns into a family. If you keep going to a class on a regular basis, it generally is like the same people every time. You meet the instructors, and it really does become super empowering. So you guys are awesome. The class is awesome. Love it.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the leaderboard, does that take all of the like stats into consideration, RPMs and
Yeah.
power output and all of that?
It does. So in the studio, there's actually these two giant TVs that are back behind the instructor on the podium. And at one point in time, the instructor will do like a group challenge where they might ask the class to express a certain amount of power, or it may be a straight up race where they bring up the class rankings, and it is literally you versus you versus you. And like, so you just like grind it and you pedal it. And then as she said, at the end of class, you get your metrics, and it is very humbling. Sometimes you're like, oh, I was ranked 2 out of 20. And then the other time you're like, I was 17 out of 18. Stellar.
Yeah.
You know? And then what's fun too is if you like the music of that teacher, you get sent the playlist as well. So it is very, very a fun little post-class email that you can see. I have one friend who comes, and after every class, she's like, was I number one? And I'm like, I don't think you were. I'm sorry. She's like, I will get there. I'm like, yes, you will. You know what I mean? So if you're a competitive person, which you said you are competitive, I guarantee every day you're like comparing those emails where you're like, I was 4th yesterday, I was 3rd today, I was 6th the other day. You know what I mean? So it's fun. Yeah.
As an engineer and a tech geek, I like seeing your energy converted into, or your output converted into watts.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I can wrap my head around. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Question back.
Yeah, thanks for presenting. Question, what is your pricing? Is it by class? Is it by month? Does it include both studios? Or give us an idea.
Yeah, so right now we have 3 month-to-month memberships. Our first one is 4 times a month. That is at $69. Our second one is 8 times a month, or 2 times a week. That is at $119. They keep changing it on us. And then our unlimited is at $159 to go to unlimited classes a month. We also have punch cards. We will randomly have like specials on stuff. Our drop-in classes are $25, 23, 25? 23. Yeah.
And then and the punch cards are not membership based. They're just like a normal punch card. So it's a use it or lose it time thing. But the other 3 things that Taylor talked about, the 4 classes a month, 8 classes a month, are unlimited, are month-to-month memberships. And what's really nice is there's no long-term commitment. They're all just month to month. So with a 30-day notification, you can be released from the agreement, which is something that people really have enjoyed. And what's fantastic is Cycle Bar is very invigorating and empowering. And so people are really trying it out, like those 4 classes a month. But almost every week we get 2 or 3 people that are like, I need more. And so that's what's really nice is you can adjust it to what fits best for you. Everyone's lifestyle is a little bit different. And we have classes 7 days a week, as early as 5 a.m. and right now as late as 5:45. Once we have a couple instructors finish training, we'll be bringing in some 7 p.m.s for those night people. And then again, we're open on the weekends for classes as well. So it's something where if you can make the time to fit 45 minutes into your schedule, it could be a really good fit for you. And then I know you had said something about like the dual membership, because I happen to own both studios. We do offer a dual membership if you wanted to partake in both studios at the same time.
So did a lot of people start with just kind of a drop-in just to see what it's all about, and then you're starting to see, more of the membership thing? That's kind of a neat report card in a way in terms of the service.
During our soft opening, everybody got the 3 free rides. So people got to come in 3 times, and we did the 3 free rides because after your first ride, you're kind of like, whoa, what just went down? It's very overwhelming. And then we would hear from people, wow, like my second ride, that was awesome. Like it made so much more sense. It was super fun. And then by their third ride, they're like, all right, like we want to, be a part of this community. So we still have those 3 free rides going on right now if you want to check out our studio.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did that progression work compared to what you saw at Pure Bar in terms of memberships, and some similarities, some differences?
Definitely some differences. So when I opened Pure Bar, we were not owned by the parent company, Exponential Fitness. We were owned by a different company. And so Exponential Fitness is the largest boutique fitness brand. He has 10 different brands underneath him, and he knows what he's doing. So the organization and the preparation, thank you, for a successful opening was much smoother with Cycle Bar than it was with Pure Bar. At Pure Bar, I was just like willy-nilly like making up prices. I'm like, sure, let's charge you $130. That sounds fine. Where Cycle Bar, he was like, okay, based on this demographic, based on your town, this is what your price is going to be. And that is your price. Don't touch it. Don't change it, Mary. And I was like, okay. So it was much
black and white.
Black and white. It was much more organized. And it set the studio up for extreme success. I will say, and I know Taylor will agree with this, we could not be happier with the outcome at the conclusion of our grand opening. We had set a personal goal of where we wanted to see the studio at, and we were able to exceed that goal. And so that's been so fantastic.
It was wild.
That's good to hear. Well, we are out of time. And so now I think Shania's going to ask the same last question that we always ask. And Shania.
Wow, thanks for being here today. We're going to go, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'll just ask that question. So what can we, as the Bismarck Mandan 1 Million Cups community, do to help you all succeed? Because we really want you to.
Yeah, I would think just exposure. It's so funny being in North Bismarck. People are always like, oh, I didn't even know that building was done. I'm like,
how?
How do you not know it's done? So just exposure and, talking about it. We had an individual from Caves. Caves came in.
Yep.
Caves did our sound system, so they came in and did a video, and he was like, I hear people talking about Cycle Bar all the time, and that's like the best thing. If our name is being utilized throughout the community, that is it, because then people are going to be asking what it is. A lot of times, some people think it's a bar, but
we've had that happen. They come in thinking we're like, sorry.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's like those, like in the bigger cities, it's like the pedal bike that has like the bar on. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So just talk about it, You guys got a taste of the product, so you got to see the energy and stuff like that. It's better than what you can get from watching something on a TV at home, for sure.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's give it up for these two.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
And then if you didn't get a chance to, I know I handed out the water bottles. Please take a water bottle on your way out. They're complimentary. Do not put it in the dishwasher. It will shrink, it'll morph, and it will never work again.
Yeah.
And then there's also some flyers out there, so if anybody's curious about what Cycle Bar offers inside our studio, you guys can grab one of those as well.
Yep.
You know, I think your building's got good karma too. Carmen's Kitchen Table. She just received a Small Business Person of the Year award from the Bismarck Mandan Chamber.
Oh,
EDC.
yes.
So,
Awesome.
and she's been in that building for some time.
She's the building above us.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
right.
But we're very
not
close.
connected.
But we're very close.
Yeah, I've
we
never.
love Carmen's.
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next time the weather's going to be better, I promise. Jake's Bakes is going to be here on the 20th. We've got insurance for deadly ideas or protecting your assets on October 27th, and on November 3rd we're going to have balancing goat. And there's some conjecture whether or not there's really going to be a goat. So you're going to have to come and check that out and see. Beyond that, if you or somebody you know would like to apply to get up here on stage, just go to millioncups.com/Bismarck. It's a very easy process. Our dance card is full right now for the rest of this year. We usually take the holiday season off, but we'd love to get you in the hopper for next year. Thanks for being here. You know, if you don't want to go outside, stay here, drink coffee, chat, whatever. It's really nasty out there. All right, thanks so much.